Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm not in my kitchen today. Obviously, I'm on vacation. I'm in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh. So I can't cook for you. My hotel doesn't have a kitchen. So I thought I'd give you 6 tips to make you a better cook. Okay. Tip number 1: use your taste. Right? Don't just follow recipes blindly. Those are guides. Right? It's like a skeleton. You have to put some meat on it. Right? So follow the recipe. But taste as you go. Is it too salty? Is it not salty enough? You wouldn't try to paint the picture with your eyes closed, right? Use your mouth. Taste it. Just look at it. Adjust. Feel free to go off recipe if you have to. Tip number 2: use fresh herbs and aromatics. Okay? So this is an important one. Now, back in the day, they would grow herbs in their garden, right? So they would make basil, oregano, whatever. And then come fall time, they would harvest it, dry it out so that they could have it for the rest of the year. We're not living in 1799, okay? You can get fresh herbs at your grocery store, and it makes a world of difference. Don't believe me? Take some dried basil, put it in your mouth, chew it. It tastes gross. Put some fresh basil in your mouth, tastes wonderful. Do the same for aromatics. Garlic, don't use garlic powder, use garlic cloves. Don't use onion powder, use onion, just onions, right? Now this is extremely, extremely important because dried stuff never tastes right, okay? Now, if your recipe, like you're making a burger or something and it says onion powder or onion, garlic powder in the meat, first of all, throw out that recipe, it's garbage. They don't know what they're talking about. Use good quality meat and then try to get those flavors in another way, right? Saute the onions, put it on top of the burger. Make a garlic chili mayo, put that on the top of the burger, right? Get fresh herbs and aromatics in your food. It's going to take it to the next level. Tip number 3, understand why you're using your ingredients, okay? So what is the purpose of them? What's it doing? For example, bread. It's flour, water, yeast, and salt. So you have to ask yourself, what is the flour doing? What is the gluten in the flour doing? What is the water doing? What's the yeast doing? What's the salt doing? And then when you understand what each component of the ingredient is doing, then you can adjust, you can make it your own, you can substitute things. For example, if you're making a marinade and it has buttermilk, or if it has, let's say, papaya in the marinade for the meat, why? It's not just for flavor, it's also doing something. It's breaking down the meat, it's tenderizing. So when you understand what each component is doing, then you can swap things out and make it your own, right? You don't have white wine vinegar? Well, in the salad dressing, it just needs an acid. So could you use lime juice, lemon juice, something like that? And so if you understand what you're doing, it helps. So how do you understand? If you don't know, Google it. Go on YouTube. There's a million videos. Why do I put papaya in my marinade? Google it. You'll find something with a little digging, and it'll really help you out. Tip number 4, understand contrasting flavors, right? You wouldn't listen to a song if it was just one note, right? Ding, 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 ding. Nobody likes that song, right? It's a stupid thing. So when you're cooking, you don't want to cook anything that's just one note. That's why people don't sit down and eat just a plain bag of sugar, right? If you did that, it'd be absolutely disgusting. But if you layer flavors, right, you get different flavors, contrasting flavors, it tastes good. Now, some of your favorite foods already do this, right? I mean, like, take ketchup, right? Ketchup's sweet, it's salty, it's savory, it's sour. It's got all these different levels of flavor. So when you're cooking, try to layer flavors. Try to, let's say you're making a chili, right? Chili is very savory. It's got a little bit of sweet in it from the tomatoes and things like that. So try to layer it with something that's fresh tasting, like spring onion or some sour cream or something like that. And you're going to have a much richer dish. It's going to taste better because there's layered flavorings, not just one note. Tip number 5, if you're going to be cooking, make sure you use good quality ingredients. For example, if you are using cooking wine, try to take a big glass of cooking wine and sit down on the couch and drink it. You can't. It's disgusting. So if it's gross to drink, why are you putting it in your food, right? It just makes sense. It tastes bad. Don't add it to your food. Your food's going to taste bad. Use a wine that you like. Same thing goes for produce. Okay, if you buy a tomato at the store versus buying a tomato that is grown in a garden, it's a whole different thing. A garden fresh tomato. I mean, yeah, it can be difficult to get. Maybe you got to go to a produce market, or maybe you have to go to a farmer's market or something like that. But get good quality ingredients. And it's going to taste well. If the ingredient by itself tastes gross, and that's the basis of your meal, you're just trying to mask it with salt and pepper or something like that, that's no good. Good quality ingredients. Step number 6 is contrasting textures. A lot of times people think this isn't as important. They think, flavor's more important, maybe texture not a crucial thing. But it is. How many times have you heard somebody say, I don't like mushrooms, but I'll eat mushroom soup because there's no big chunks. Well, that means that they don't like the texture of mushrooms. It's too slimy or something like that for them. So texture's an important thing. Yogurt and granola tastes good. You got creaminess of the yogurt, granola's there, you've got a little bit of a crunch. So when you're making a dish, let's say like chili, it's a stew or something like that, everything's soft, everything's kind of mushy, put some crunch in it, right? Sprinkle some green onions on it, or maybe you could do something like put some nacho chips on it, or even some sour cream. That's not going to give you the crunch, but it's going to give you this really, really nice mouthfeel, velvety mouthfeel. So that's contrasting textures. Now, a lot of amateur cooks don't think that's, I'm an amateur cook myself too, but a lot of people don't think that's important, but it really is. It will really take your dish up to the next notch. Don't forget about texture. Contrasting textures, you want that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Hey, it's free. What's it cost you? 2 minutes to set up an account? Subscribe? Totally worth it, guys. Because next week, we're doing Korean fried chicken wings for K, Korea, that whole thing. So don't forget to subscribe. You're not going to want to miss the recipe next week. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned.